Okay, I got a question for you. Have you ever found yourself trapped in the cycle of perfectionism, constantly putting immense pressure on yourself? So much pressure that you just become fully avoidant of something and never start it because you've lost all motivation in thinking about all the ways it could go wrong? Or are you well adjusted and mentally stable? Welcome to the channel. I'm Tennille if you haven't met me before. Today, I'm feeling a little existentially crisis-y, so I'm going to go on more of a passion-fueled rant today on some fun self-sabotaging behaviours. More specifically, self-sabotage, perfectionism, avoidance, and the excessive pressure that we put on ourselves. If you've typed in any of these keywords, you should probably stick around till the end of the video. This one's for you. Full disclosure, this video has been a real challenge for me. This is my third attempt at recording and my fourth script rewrite. I was fully unhinged and unscripted a couple of days ago. My super sick perfectionistic tendencies have been out of hand and doing everything they can to make sure I don't share the type of content I want to be creating this week. Well, too fucking bad. I'm here 3 months of consistently creating videos for YouTube. Suck a dick, brain. And while I'm being honest and transparent about this video, this is also not my first attempt at YouTube. I have like 5 pages in my book written out from 2021 when I planned to start making content for the first time, but I overthought it and I just didn't start. And years before that, I did the same in another notebook. This is not my first rodeo of self-sabotage. This time I've come out more prepared. So why not just do the thing? Why do we self-sabotage? I personally self-sabotage when things feel like they're starting to go well or build the right kind of momentum. It's a fun personality trait to have. Self-sabotage can be defined as any behavior that goes against ourselves, our wider goals, and our own values. It's when people do things that block their success or prevent them from accomplishing their goals.
You don't want to let an opportunity like this pass you by.
I know. I need to do better. All right.
Come on! Get miles off, huh? Jackson!
Let's go. Nice.
It's not often something we set out to do with intention, but something that we do unconsciously out of self-preservation. Humans are fragile and anxious little things, and our brains even more so. Sometimes we don't know how to express ourselves or regulate feelings of discomfort or process these feelings. Self-sabotage often stems from us unconsciously deciding that we don't want to be seen as vulnerable again. Often when we're young, something or someone doesn't show up for us and we're let down in some way. And that feeling really hurts. We carry that throughout our lives. An example is a person who's afraid of abandonment will avoid relationships to protect themselves. They may only progress so far before sabotaging behavior ends a relationship. It's almost a form of control. They've done something that kicks off the chain of events that ends a relationship, rather than another party just pulling the rug out from underneath them and just being abandoned out of the blue. Understanding perfectionism. Now, perfectionism is often defined as the need to be or appear to be perfect, or even to believe that it's possible to achieve perfection. It is typically viewed as a positive trait rather than a flaw. People may use the term healthy perfectionism to describe or justify perfectionistic behavior. For me, perfectionism has been a constant struggle. It's a nice blend of the disorganized state that I live my life in, ADHD, and setting unrealistic and unattainable goals that I have somehow linked very deeply to my own self-worth. I've never considered myself as a high achiever, and I think it's because I don't want to be seen as a failure. In the past, I have been too insecure to openly do my best and be called out for sucking at something, so it's easier to seem like I don't care or to not even try. I don't really remember when this started, but I know it ramped up a lot towards the end of high school, and it's only taken me nearly 10 years to realize that that is not the person that I want to be. It's something I mentioned more in my ADHD diagnosis video if you want to watch it up here. During exams in high school, I struggled. I didn't know why or how to ask for help. I just thought that I was stupid and had all but given up on having a successful future at the wise old age of 16 and a half. At this point in my life, anything I'd invested a lot of time and effort in felt agonizing when I didn't succeed at it. The literal heartache and anger I would feel for weeks on end after I trained my ass off for months in the gym and at a kart track leading up to a really big event, and then I'd get taken out by some rich douchebag in the final race. The disappointment I'd feel from studying for a test to only just scrape by with a passing grade. Time and time again, I'd gradually been solidifying up what's the use in trying, all you get is pain mentality. But if I turned up unprepared and not caring, then how could I be disappointed? I was back in control of my feelings again. The impact of perfectionism on self-sabotage. Avoidance is another self-sabotage behavior. Sometimes we avoid things that we find difficult, uncomfortable, or boring, especially if you're neurospicy. Procrastination, baby! Sometimes the reason we avoid these things is due to internalized negative beliefs. I'm not knowledgeable enough to deal with this, so we avoid it. It sucks, but we all do it sometimes. We're capable of difficult things, but doing difficult things often doesn't feel like growth when you're doing it. It's only upon reflection later that you'll often appreciate it for what it is. Like perfectionism, we're standing in our own way, so we remain in our comfort zones, where there's little room for growth. Self-sabotage comes from places of low self-esteem and anxiety. Growth is hard and scary. I've also come to the realization that it's a big part of why most of my humor is self-deprecating jokes. You know when you're looking at a picture of a bag of rubbish on your phone and then realize it's a selfie? If you aren't familiar with this term, it's basically where the person using that humor only points out what they think are negative things about themselves or things that they don't like or insecure about themselves. But they say it aloud in a funny and joking way. It's a form of self-awareness. One I have and still use, especially when I'm feeling insecure or I'm in situations where I don't know how to interact with the other person. I've used it as a way to air out thoughts I have about myself, because if I bring up the thing I don't like first, then I can't be caught off guard or offended if it comes up later in the conversation from someone else. It's another attempt at control to protect yourself, while also trying to fit in by being funny. For me, it's kind of been a social game changer. I know it's not healthy, but it's hard. It's why I cry when people compliment me. My brain struggles to accept the little gift I've been given. It goes directly against the negative self-talk that I project. Now, a lot of these realizations have only come later in my life, so I don't have a lot of answers right now. Hopefully I can circle back to that. The theme of a lot of my videos so far seems to be centered around self-acceptance and compassion. And I think it's the same with this video today. Acknowledging the painful points and trying to uncover the insecurities behind them and challenging those thoughts. Like I self-sabotage because I'm starting to develop some habits and skills that don't feel normal to me. Having a structure and developing content each week. This is not something I've ever had success at before. So I've been tripping myself up all week to try and make sure this video doesn't get completed today. To the point I was still writing this script at 10:30 a.m. today, rather than finishing up the edit, and I'm filming it now 2 p.m. the same day of posting. The thing will be posted today one way or another. I am terrified of doing well because I've never let myself do it before. I'm doing my best to undo the feeling of not feeling worthy of more than I have. It's fucking challenging, but I want it, so I'm putting in my reps, getting my 10,000 hours in. This video, number 12, gets me about 1% of the way there, which is a hell of a lot closer than I was yesterday, last week, and 3 months ago when I started. Show yourself some compassion. We're never going to be finished products. We're not designed to be, but it's fulfilling to have something that you're working on. And self-work is the best thing. Living in acceptance is a lot less loathsome than living in self-hate. These things you are thinking, they are not facts. It is a negatively biased opinion you have of yourself. And opinions are great because you can always change them. When you start thinking badly about yourself, try and flip that negative belief on its head. For example, here's an exercise I found from another video, from another creator while I was researching how to make this video. I'm an avid journaler, so get yours out or some scrap paper, write out your negative core beliefs. This can be a confronting exercise, so be nice to yourself. My negative self-beliefs, here's a couple examples from me. People dislike me because I'm not skinny. I'm not worthy of success here. No one cares what I have to say. I am too much for people, and it is a lot. If I try, I will just be disappointed. Now flip that shit on its head. This is just your internalized negative self-talk. It's your brain trying to protect you, but it's being a dumbass. The opposite. People like me because I am kind, and I'm funny, and I have a cute dog. My opinion matters, and it can help someone going through something similar. I am the right amount for the right people, and those people love me. What if you try and everything works out the way you hoped it would? If you're like me, writing nice things about yourself is even more confronting than the negative things. Challenging your inner beliefs is hard. It's icky and it feels super corny, but just do it. Nike the shit out of that. Now, as two of my favorite people say to me, you've got this and you can do hard things. But you know what's really easy? Hitting that like button down below and commenting on something you're trying to work on. I'll see you on the next one. Appreciate you. Good luck.